Hi everyone, welcome to Wealthy Mindset. My name is Oliver. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys are having a great day like always. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about Nokia Stock, giving you guys the lows and the highs like always throughout the whole entire trading week of March 8th to March 12th by analyzing the graph. Now, this is a little bit different than what I usually do. Usually I keep you guys posted in terms of video form throughout the week. Unfortunately, this week I'm going to be extremely busy, so I won't be able to do that. So what I'm going to do is comment down below and pin that message, continuously updating you guys if the levels I mentioned get dramatically broken and they surpass false breakouts. Now, quick disclaimer like always before I begin, I'm not a financial advisor, I'm not a professional, and everything I do share with you guys is just my opinion. It is not advice, so please do not buy or sell based off the information I show you or give you or the opinions I do form. These are just my opinions. Now, if we look at the graph, Nokia is extremely interesting like always. Now, for the new viewers, just in case, we have a double downward trend resistance line that dates back since 2000, 2001. You can see multiple touch points right here, multiple touch points right here for the lower one. You guys back tested it right here. Now, you're still in good shape because you have an upward trend support line dating back since March 2020, October 2020. Touch point right here, second touch point right here. I'm going to show you where you guys have technically 3 already with these 2 touch points, but don't worry, I'm going to get to it. Now you're below both moving averages, short and long, which is the unfortunate part, and the MAC line is ever so slightly in the negative at the moment, but I'm still hopeful because of this upward trend support line. And if you're optimistic, what you're expecting to do is once you hit this support line, you bounce back up to the upside. Hopefully it does that. Now, it's not a guarantee that it will do that. It could break through, and I'm going to go through that scenario. Like always, give you guys the lows and the highs of what the play could be. But you seem to have pretty good support right about here right now. I did look over on the side. There is more touch points. Hopefully, you guys keep up. But I think ultimately the way you guys been projecting, you might be going a little bit lower, and I'm going to elaborate more on that. Now, if you go to a logarithmic view and the 1 year, by the way, that was the 5-year chart. Moving chart, but if I go to the 1 year moving chart, you can see quite a bit of support right here. There's more touch points to it, but either way, right here, the support line. The unfortunate part, you did break through it, unfortunately, and you're hopefully to get back up above it, past it, and bounce off it as support. But I'm looking at this mainly just to look at the worst case scenario. So this is where I was saying that there's more touch points. You got 2 touch points right here, 3rd touch point right here. And this would be, in my opinion, if you're thinking to bounce off on the upward support line, this would be the utmost lowest. So I was looking at, when I measured it, it was roughly about the 372, 371, 370. And if you want to account for false breakouts, you're looking at 365, 361, 360 range, roughly around there for false breakouts. Now, there is a chance it could go lower, obviously. Nobody knows for sure. And if it goes lower, you're looking at support at somewhere in $3.50 range. But in my opinion, I don't see that necessarily happening, and I don't see that necessarily happening this week at all as well. It is a potential, but in this week, I don't think that's going to play at all. And to be honest, I don't even think 372, 371, 370 is going to play this week. Most likely, what's going to happen for this week is 375, maybe 374, because there's major horizontal support and technically one of these upward trend support lines that I've drawn out for, I believe it was a logarithmic view, lined up at the right time at the 375, 374. So mainly horizontal support and potential upward trend support line at 375, 374. Yes, you have support at 377, so that could hold you up too. But the way the things are working out, you potentially could hit 375, 374. Now, if you look at the 1 month chart, you have a downward trend resistance line that does not look the cleanest, but the reason I'm showing it is because technically you could bounce off it to the upside, and then you got knocked down by the short moving average. You're below both short and long moving average, but the MAC line is in the positive, so that is good for the 1 month chart. And if I move over to a 5-day chart, then you can see the touch points line up. So you had 1 touch point right here, if I could look at it correctly. So 1 touch point right here. This one doesn't count because it's a false breakout. 2nd touch point and 3rd touch point right here. Then you have 4 and 5. So it acted as resistance and acted as support. And if you look at the 5-day chart, you did bounce off the long moving average, but then you came below it again, and then hopefully bounce off to the upside above the short moving average. So this is acting as support right now. Unfortunate part is the MACD lines in the negative. Now for the within the week, there might be issues because you guys aren't getting knocked. Like I'm not trying to share, like not share, but like I'm not trying to give fear kind of stuff. I'm trying to give you guys as much as information as possible, so that way you guys are aware and make sound decisions. Again, if you're a long-term investor, you should not be worried overall because you've did your research. I myself did not do a deep dive into Nokia, so I'm not sure 100%. And I have no positions, by the way. I'm not holding or shorting anything in terms of Nokia. But you guys might be knocked, or you guys are getting knocked out of the European STOXX 50 index on March 22nd. So even though this week is we still have more time into March 22nd, it could be a reason why you guys might be kept down, and I'm going to elaborate more. So hopefully you guys break up to the upside, and if you do, I'll tell you what levels you will break, but you might be kept down because of this. So if you go to the upside, first of all, this downward trend resistance line dating back since February 2021, like I've mentioned before, multiple touch points right here. It could lead up all the way through here, which is the end of the week, and it'll start keeping you guys down. Actually, okay, before I get to that, first levels you guys got to be concerned about is the 388, 380, right? And if this short moving average keeps you guys down within the 1 month chart, then you're looking at basically slowly bleeding down to 380, because this 388 counts as resistance, but also support. So you got to get above it, but more than just 389. And then if you trickle down, you could close off the week at 380, which is right about here, 381, 380. But you might see the 375, 374, like I mentioned before, 377 again. Hopefully not this level or these levels that I mentioned earlier. But if you surpass the 388, 389, then you're looking at consolidating between 391, 395, and hopefully surpassing it. But you'll have a little bit issues passing 395. But if you do, the next level that's going to be major, in my opinion, is the 398. So you can see the long moving average right about here coming down, and it's roughly at about 398. And then the downward trend resistance line that dates back since February, all the way down, trickling down. And if that's the case, that's what will lead you down 380, like I mentioned. But hopefully you guys surpass it, because if you do, then you could be more, I would be more optimistic, but not too optimistic, just because be careful with this. So $4 will be resistance, $4.02, $4.03, and additionally 405. You'll mainly be consolidating between $4 and $4.05 back and forth. But again, these are major resistance levels. The reason why I would be a little bit worrisome, just a little bit, even though the Dow Jones this week I think will be good, moving up to the upside, so the market overall will be up, is you could have a false breakout like this, because you see right here, you went up to 431, so you could do the same thing. The only problem is if you go up dramatically fast, so that was roughly about within a day, if you come back down, you need to bounce up to the upside off it to solidify support, and even that doesn't guarantee it. So just be careful. Doesn't mean you should dump everything in once it goes to the upside, or even when it goes to the downside and bounces on those low levels. The best way to do is just put small, if it's coming down and you want to buy at the bottom, put in small increments, or maybe put in what you could afford. That's what I'm trying to say. So be careful when you're making investments, and you got to make sound decisions. That's the only thing. Again, not trying to spread fear or anything. I'm just trying to share as much information as possible. So hopefully you guys break through these support levels. It will be beneficial if you pass 398. Definitely will be extremely beneficial. $4 in this range, like I mentioned. Now there will be resistance at 413. Quite a bit of resistance. The only thing is though, you should not worry at the 413 that much. The levels that you should be concerned with dramatically is 422 and 431. You guys seen that in the past. Multiple touch points. You could already see right here. Touch points as support right here. Touch points as resistance. Touch point as resistance. 431 is going to be a major task to pass. 422, 423 is going to be a resistance level. There is, by the way, resistance levels between all of these, but I'm trying to mention only the major ones. So between 422, 431, yes, there's resistance levels. Between 413 and $4, there is resistance levels, but I'm just trying to mention the major ones. 405 is major as well. I should have probably included it, but I did, because this is going to be difficult to pass to begin with anyway. But yeah, so those are the levels that you're going to have difficulties passing. Again, if you guys do pass them or go lower than I mentioned or higher than I mentioned, I'll comment down below and pin it, so that way you guys are kept up to date. But I think this week is going to be difficult to pass 431 to the upside if you're optimistic. 422 again, like I mentioned, 423. But if you go to the downside, I do not personally think you guys are going to go lower than 375, 374. Hopefully the lowest you guys go is 380. But if you go up most lowest, you're expecting 372, 371, 370. False breakouts, 365, 361, 360. I don't think this is in play. 350 range. If you guys do get in play, I'll give you more specifics in the comment down below. Now, that's pretty much it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys did like the video, consider dropping a like. It does help out the video a lot. Thank you so much for that. If you do like videos like these or stock markets, financial stuff, passive income, mortgages, credit scores, anything financial related, consider subscribing. It does help the channel as well. Thank you so much for the awesome support. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask. I'll try to answer them as soon as possible. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.